Hey yo, and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. Now, I've been excited to continue this story, I just haven't had time, because I literally work forever. So let's just not even talk, let's jump into it. I think I'm on chapter 7. Continue. Wow. Chapter 7, Muddled Truths. And you, my little sunflower, are just as radiant as always. Oh my, Rumpel. It's like that whole thing with Bria never happened. He is back to flattering every woman he meets. Again, I don't remember what voice I had for her, but it's whatevs. She's me. Overthinking again, princess? I turned to see Karma grinning at me from where he sits at a table. Surprisingly, he is sitting with Jurian and Garland today, who are arguing about some kind of knight's stance. It is none of your business. No, it's not, but you have such a sad look on your face, I had to ask. I'd appreciate you not staring at my face. I don't need to stare to see that you're in distress. I turn on my heels and begin to walk away, irritated. Why is Karma being such a jerk? Even when I'm among other people, it is impossible to forget the conversation I had with Parfait and Delora. It hovers at the back of my mind constantly. Oh yeah, they just told her that she is going to be the next Tenenbaum. We have not spoken again since then, yet even now, I am still taking in what they told me before. My mother, the Tenenbaum bearer, and me, a witch. The reason others have always feared me is because of my blood. Well, also because you were a dick, but, you know. I suppress a sigh as I attempt to return to my work. As the days go by, I notice myself becoming more and more agitated. Half of it is the recent history lesson, and the other half is Rumpel's flirting with other women. Yeah, because we really did have a breakthrough in our relationship, but I'm kind of surprised he's doing that. How can he just snap his fingers and get over Bria so quickly? If he flatters every woman, does that mean he does not really mean the things he says to me? He means them. Lady, he loves you more than anyone. I gather the plates off the counter, put them on a tray, and take them to customers. Today, everything feels mechanical. For the last few days, I've been noticing that I walk more stiffly, and that if I walk too quickly, my vision blurs. Okay, that doesn't sound normal. Probably because of my overthinking. Yeah, because that's how bodies work. You know, you overthink things, your vision's going to be impaired when you walk quickly. I stumble as I bring a tray to a familiar customer. The man looks up at me and asks if I'm okay, and I murmur that I am before walking off. The blurriness comes back. What is wrong with me? I look over at Rumpel, who is at a table with two girls because his shift is over. Rather than boil over on the inside, I feel myself getting warmer on the outside. My skin feels clammy. I have to force myself to take a deep breath as I get the next round of orders. My last order for the day is for one of the girls at Rumpel's table. I don't want to go over there. I start carrying the tray toward the table, biting down on my lips as the sway comes back into my step, and as I draw closer, I notice Rumpel and the girls laughing about something. I grit my teeth and pause in front of them to lay down the tray. This isn't mine, it's my friend's. Yes, I was the one who ordered the soup. The two stare at me. Instead of handing the soup off, they wait for me to move the bowl. But before I can reach over and move it, Rumpel slides it over to the other girl himself. For a few moments, there is a fragment of a scowl on his face. How are you doing today, my sweet princess? When I think about speaking, the words catch feebly in my throat. I turn to walk off. Princess? Still as cold as ice. The title Ice Princess definitely suits her. How can you dote on her, Rumpel? Despite the numbness of my mind, I still feel angry. I turn around so quickly that I make myself stumble. I feel myself teetering on the edge of falling, but something stops me. Warm hands reach out to grab mine before I can fall. Through my dizziness, I can see Rumpel standing in front of me. Princess, look at me. He puts a hand under my chin and angles my head so I can see him better. The expression on his face is suddenly serious. He looks at me for a few moments before he places a hand on my forehead. Princess, you have a fever. A really high fever, actually. You should go back to your room and rest. I'll drop by with some medication in a few minutes after I say goodbye to these ladies. I am fine. My voice comes out hoarse. Trying to clear my throat only makes me feel more miserable. Princess, you're not fine. You look like you're about to collapse. I will not collapse. I'm stronger than that. Mother taught me how to be strong. Mother. My thoughts become scrambled. Once again, my mind wanders, but this time I cannot keep myself steady as I try to walk away. Putting one foot in front of the other proves to be too difficult, and I once again feel myself start to stumble. Then I feel warmth, this time arms instead of hands. Sweet little princess, what am I going to do with you? Aw, ew! Why does she look so tiny? Like, not that there's something gross about being tiny, it's just she looks like a child, and he's like in his 20s. Wait a minute. How old was she again? Yeah, she's 17. Before I can understand what's happening, I'm lifted off my feet. I feel an arm supporting my back and another supporting me beneath the crook of my knees. Warmth. Such a nice warmth. You really are stubborn, aren't you, Princess Lady? I forgot that that's what he called her now. I guess I'll just have to carry you up myself. I'm gonna lean against him because I want them to fall in love. My body is so weak anyway. Even if I wanted to struggle, I would not be able to. I slowly lean my head against his chest. Actually, let me move my mic up. Princess! You concede that you need help? No. Still so stubborn. There is indistinctive murmuring behind him that probably belongs to the girls. Rumpel responds to them in a low voice. Stubborn she may be, but my sweet princess is stronger than any other woman I've ever known. So warm. Ah, but not as warm as you are right now, princess. I thought he was going to say, like, not as warm as you're gonna be when I sex you up. His voice slowly begins to fade out as I close my eyes. For the time being, I stop caring about everything else around me. I forget about Mother, about my talk with Delore and Parfait, about the crystal, the march, and I focus on Rumpel. Is it so selfish to want to be the only person held like this by him? Even when he was engaged to someone before. It's not selfish, lady. It's called love, and I'm glad you found someone who makes you a better person. Slumber slowly reaches up to claim me, darkness intermingling with warmth. In that last moment, I think I see Rumpel smile at me. Oh God, are you going to have another episode of dreams a la bad advice talk with Mama? Yep, here we go.
Mother, I have to tell you about the fairy tale that the children read to me today.
Lady, what did I tell you about the fairy tales?
But there was a princess, just like me. She found her Prince Charming, and...
Fairy tales are not real.
But they make really good stories, Mother.
They are false stories. Do you really think it would be so easy to live happily ever after?
No, but...
Fairy tales make things black and white. Real life is full of grays.
Black and white?
Good and evil. No one is totally evil, and no one is totally good. Even princes are not completely just.
So princes and princesses can be... bad?
Lady, everyone has darkness to them. The princes that throw themselves into danger are not selfless. They seek wealth, fame, or power. You see, fairy tales are lies because no one is so selfless and so full of love. People be two-faced, though. Trust no one.
Yes, Mother.
No one will love you like I do. To find pure love like that is impossible. Wow. Such a font of wisdom she was. I slowly blinked my eyes open. For a few moments the room is blurry, and there is nothing but vivid colors before my eyes. Like, the beige on the wall. And the brown. My eyes feel heavy, my throat scratchy. I stifle a cough as I blink back tears, and then through my tears I notice a slight motion. Rumpel? Rumpel is slumped in a chair in front of my bed, his head lolled lol to the side, his eyes closed. He murmurs something in his sleep, and then shifts. Oh, he slept there to overwatch me. What's he doing here? I notice a notebook on his lap. And what is that journal? I slowly slide my hand out from underneath the covers and reach across the bed. Right as my fingers are about to brush the cover, Rumpel's hand suddenly falls on mine. Looks like you're feeling better. He pulls his hand away along with the book before carefully setting my hand back down on the covers. At least you look better, but how do you feel? Better. Rumpel looks tired, but his smile is still there. Oh? I won't believe it until I see it. You just said I looked better. That's my own analysis, but you, my sweet princess, don't sound very convinced. My throat is a little sore, and I think if I stood up I would fall over. Why do you look so surprised? You would usually never admit to such a thing, would you? You're still most definitely sick. Rumpel... I like when he gets in close with his face. Rumpel leans forward to put a hand on my forehead. His hand is cool on my hot skin. Our eyes lock as he tests my temperature. After a few moments, he finally peels his eyes away from me and sits back in his chair. Your temperature is down, but you got to get up. Dun, dun. Got to get up. Isn't there a song that sounds like that? Anyway, but you definitely need the rest, princess. You should go back to sleep. And what, will you just sit there and watch me? The words come out curter than I mean them to, and for a few moments Rumpel looks surprised. Then he laughs. Princess, I haven't just been staring at you. I've been writing in my journal, too. You have such a scary look on your face. Not that it isn't enticing, but I think your smiles are much better. I sigh as I close my eyes for a few moments. I fight to put my scrambled thoughts together, like eggs and bacon. But one thought in particular keeps resurfacing. For some reason, I cannot help but remember the snide women standing by Rumpel's side, jeering at me earlier. I open my eyes and look at Rumpel. Those women from earlier. Oh, right. I apologize for their impoliteness. The things they said to you were uncalled for, and I told them that. You flirt with women like that all the time. But why? They are not even good people. Not good people? But... well, I suppose they act differently when you're there. Princess Lady, you're blind to their jealousy, aren't you? They are jealous of me? Why? My mind turns over what they could possibly be jealous about as my eyes fall on Rumpel. I remember the way he defended me to the women. Is it because you're my partner? It's a lot more than that. It's your grace, the noble way you carry yourself. They would never think I have those qualities. But where else would their jealousy stem from? They are just jealous that I take your attention away from them. Princess, I think you're... Even if they were nice people, I do not see how you can flirt with them when you were just recently in love with someone else. Normally I would stop talking, but the words continue tumbling out of me. I do not understand how someone like you, who had a fiancé, could still be flirting with girls. How can you love someone if all you do is flirt with other girls? Flattery is one thing, but you cannot just... Flatter every girl? Why are you still smiling at me? I may not remember a lot of things, Princess, but I know for certain that whatever feelings I had for Bria vanished a long time ago. The good ones, at least. Rumpel. The words break apart as I start coughing. Don't rile yourself up over this. Please, rest. I slowly lean back into my pillows with my eyes half closed. Half crossed. I'm just picturing her leaning back with her eyes crossed all crazy. Fun with words. Why do I even care about what Rumpel does? Why does it bother me that he flirts with other girls? 'Cause you're in love with him, lady. You're in love with him like no one's ever been. That is his business. Rumpel pulls the covers closer to my chin and smiles. Just because I flatter other women, that doesn't mean that I can't love someone. Well, you always say some woman has stolen your heart, but your heart cannot belong to everyone. Yet you told me you always speak the truth. Maybe that in itself is a little white lie. Just some harmless dramatics. But most girls know that I'm being dramatic, Princess. They don't take my words so seriously, even if I do mean my compliments. He stares at me for a few moments, thoughtful. Does it bother you so much that I compliment other girls? Of course not. Though it will be difficult to hold my tongue. I will do it for you, Princess. So don't worry. Why would he do something like that for me? My eyes are suddenly so heavy I have no choice but to close them as I let out a deep sigh. My head is beginning to hurt again. Behind my closed eyelids I can hear a soft shuffle as Rumpel moves in his chair. Right before I fall back into the darkness of sleep where I relive my mother's stupid advice, I feel something warm and soft on my forehead. Rumpel? A good night kiss. His words are quiet, and I can only just barely make them out. I cannot think on them, because the pull of sleep is much too tempting. Oh, he gave her a kiss on the forehead. I really do like Rumpel a lot. I just love everything about him. But I also am going to get up and get some water because I forgot that I left it in the other room. Okie dokie. Oh. Babble, 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 babble. It takes a while, but after several days, Rumpel finally allows me to go back to work. I cannot remember much of what happened when he was watching over me, especially that first day. It is all a little bit of a blur now, like it was all just a dream. Princess! Back up on your feet? Hi, Anise, I missed you. Yes, I am fine now. Oh, what a relief. Last I saw you, you looked quite pale. There goes that face again. There goes that weird little I don't trust you face. When? I dropped in to check on you in your room, but Rumpel was there. He told me that he had everything under control. Control! Why did you need to check on me? Because I was worried, of course. Maybe you've been working too hard. No, I'm fine. Just tell me what things need to be done. Are you sure you're okay? She's fine, Anise. Dolores suddenly appears before me, smirking. Oh, I missed you, Delora, even though I don't remember how I used to do your voice. The princess is sturdy, a little too stubborn to let a little sickness get her down. I have not spoken with Delora or Parfait since that night where they decided to tell me about Mother. Just thinking about what they told me. It puts me on edge. Oh, Princess, why the sour expression? Allow me to calm you down with a little lullaby. Excuse me? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Anise, give me those work orders now. Up above the world so high. Anise! Oh, the tables on the west are yours, Princess Lady. I quickly walk away from the bar and catch only the last little bit of Dolores singing. like a diamond in the sky. She sang that the night I was cursed, and hearing her sing it again is infuriating. The song slowly fades from my mind as I go about my work for the day. I am still a little shaky on my feet, but not so much that I need to go back to bed. As I am walking around the bar, I catch snatches of conversation as I serve food. I hear the king has been mediating arguments between his two advisors. That Mithros man? He reminds me of a snake, always smiling that slithery smile of his. That one in Alcaster. Apparently there has been no end to their squabbles.
The king missed his monthly visit to the town yesterday, didn't he? I wonder if he's sick. There's been no word from the palace, but I suppose he must have come down with something. Nothing would keep the king from visiting otherwise. What is going on at the palace?
Ah, you heard about the incident with the royal guard? Apparently lots of them have been getting dishonorably discharged. Found doing something to dishonor the king's name. Huh? Like what exactly? Not sure. That information is still under wraps. Like avocado wraps? And chicken wraps? I'm walking forward, not watching where I'm going, when I collide with someone in my path. I feel a hand on my shoulder, and then another lifts my chin. If it isn't the lovely princess, you're looking a lot peachier today. Like a Georgia peach with a peach booty. Because you're not as pale? Because the color's coming back into your skin? I'm still thinking of the king and the situations in the palace, and barely hear Rumpel's words. It isn't until he leans closer to me and narrows his eyes that I realize he is so close. Ah, now Sleeping Beauty is truly awake, and here I was hoping I would have an excuse to plant a kiss on your lips, my sweet, sweet, succulent princess. My princess. Not a single reaction today? Not a slight blush? Not a slap? Not... Are you still sick? Must I perform another examination?
Examination?
Yes, by looking closely at your face, into your eyes.
How are you a doctor, Rumpel?
Rumpel stares at me with surprise. I'm not sure where the question came from, just that it was hovering in my mind. What? Princess, you wound me! I have not seen you do anything different from a niece. But my prescriptions! Even the people at the shops could tell us what medicines to buy. Fine, I'll show you. Rumpel's expression slips into something shockingly solemn. I don't know why his mad face cracks me up so much. He looks at me gravely and extends a hand. If you would be so kind as to come up to my room. Does going up to your room have anything to do with work? Delora appears before me again, this time without the snide smile. She raises an eyebrow. See, Delora's voice and Rumpel's voice are the same voice. 'Cause I'm being very lazy. I don't think either of your shifts are over. She looks at me first. Also, I meant for the lullaby to inspire you, not scare you, princess.
Oh, look at her little face. Look at her, she's kind of sad. Oh,
For a few moments she looks concerned, which startles me. The lullaby is certainly associated with a terrible memory, but the weight of that memory has dissipated over time, as has my anger at Delora. It is still there, but holding on to that anger does me no good.
Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Or something like that. I sigh and shake my head. You have a terrible voice. What? It's not her fault, lady. I'm doing her voice for her. That's why it's terrible. Ah, there's the princess we all know and love. She crosses her arms. Anyway, you don't want me to sing you into action again, do you? Come to my room later then, princess. I'll show you proof. Proof? That I am a capable doctor. Wink. I didn't like the sounds of that, but I also kind of really did like the sounds of that. Rumpel walks off, leaving me with Delora, who looks at me skeptically for a few moments. Something on your mind, Princess? There were so many conversations I heard earlier, so many questions that I have. While I do not want to speak to Delora, I may as well ask her about something she might know. I overheard rumors about the palace. Did you now? We still haven't confirmed those rumors yet. Look, Princess, I know it's not in your nature to trust people, but trust Parfait and me, at least. We'll let you know if something is up. I am ushered back to work, where I spend the next few hours searching for more information. Unfortunately, everything I hear is just speculation. Where is Mr. Broom? I haven't seen him in a while. Good work today, lady. Has Rumpel already left? And also, thank you? Manners, lady. Manners. I think he went up to his room earlier. Thank you. Ah, there you go. You didn't forget at all. Anise looks at me, curious. What? You and Rumpel have grown a lot closer, haven't you? Well, we are partners. But in the beginning you didn't even want him as a partner. And now the two of you are... friends? Friends. If Rumpel considers me a friend, that should make me happy. But for some reason it makes me feel empty inside. Why? What else could we be besides friends? Are you really that dense? My cheeks feel warm as I try to think beyond the idea of just being friends with Rumpel. I'm happy that the two of you get along. Anise, I need to go. I told him I would meet him for something tonight. Oh, okay. Sorry for holding you up. That face, man. I just don't trust that face. Anise scrambles off, leaving me by myself. I stand there for a few moments in an attempt to still my thoughts, and then I begin to make my way to Rumpel's room. Knock, knock, a Rumpel! The door swings open, and there stands Rumpel. With a dramatic bow, he ushers me inside before closing the door behind him. I wasn't entirely certain you'd showed up, Princess. Normally, when you go places with me, it's out of necessity. I only came to see this proof you insisted upon earlier. Proof that you are more than what you seem. A robot in disguise. He places a hand on my back and guides me over to a chair. He requests that I sit, and I do. Here it is, my proof. You tried to read it while you were sick, too. It's the book! Your journal? I have seen him write in this before, but I thought it was for his memories, not for doctor things. I didn't think it was for that doctor thing. He barely even works on patients now. Rumpel's persistence stokes my curiosity, and I soon find myself flipping through the pages of the book. This was the journal you had when the march found you on the streets. You said it was empty then. It was. I've been filling things in from my memory ever since I remembered my job. The book is filled with diagrams. Diagrams of the body, both inside and out. I have no idea what most of the words mean. Heart? For example, what is that? What are all of the smaller words here? Oh, parts of the pancreas. Not very fun to talk about. There's the papilla, the pancreatic duct. Why is it necessary to use such big words for such simple things? For clarification. Sometimes when you diagnose a problem, it isn't as simple as telling a person that their heart is weak. I continue flipping through it, with Rumpel sometimes explaining things that are on the page, though I do not ask for the descriptions. The leg bone is connected to the hip bone. The hip bone's connected to the thigh bone. Scattered throughout the journal are journal entries about his life. When I get to the last entry, I spot my name and begin to read. But before I can even get to the next word after my name, Rumpel has taken the journal from my hands. Sorry, my sweet, but a man's words are sometimes all he has. Insult them, and you break him from the inside out. He thinks I'm going to insult his writing? But what did you think? Aren't you impressed with my sophistication, my breadth of knowledge, my intricacy, my doctorness? You drew some pictures and wrote fancy words by them. Princess! I cannot help the little laugh that escapes my lips. Immediately after I hear it, I feel myself flushing as Rumpel grins at me triumphantly. Your laughs are sweeter than honey, princess, and pricier than Manuka honey, specifically because that shit's expensive. Have you ever seen it in a store? I'm just saying. I was gonna buy it once to put it on my skin, and I was like, oh, what? It costs who? No, 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 no. Regular honey will do. And because your voice is black, and you're no longer oh, what? What? And because your voice is back, and you're no longer sick, I can hear it in all of its fullness, like your bosom. He takes a step closer to me and reaches out to touch my cheek. I flinch in surprise, but do not draw away. The rapid beating of my heart is not altogether uncomfortable, even if it does confuse me. He pulls his hand away from my cheek, then flicks my forehead. What was that for? I wanted to see the way your eyes glimmered. You looked oddly vacant there for a few moments. I open my mouth to speak again, but Rumpel surprises me by setting his finger on my lips. My back is hurting. He inches closer to me, so close that I can feel his breath on my cheeks. But even when you don't speak, your eyes speak for you. You have beautiful eyes, you know. Oh, we're gonna look at him. We're gonna look right in his baby purples. Click. Does he ever truly mean his compliments? I know he spoke about meaning everything that he says, but... I continue to stare at him. I do not look away even once, though I do feel a slight shudder run through me when Rumpel keeps my gaze. Fierce as always. He removes his finger, but does not step back. We are still so close I can feel his breath. Fierce? You, never backing down from anything. Always resisting. Always putting up a wall. That's what I... His words falter, and then he simply stops what he was saying. He looks at me again. He clears his throat, then starts speaking. I'm not going to say again because it sounds redundant. Also, I'm going to drink more water. In any case, it's so nice to have you back, Princess. I missed you while you were sleeping day in and day out. He missed me? But you have friends all over the march. Yes, but none of them are you. You're special. My heart plunges like a rock. I can feel it everywhere in my body, reverberating from a place that doesn't feel like my chest. It's reverberating from your loins, lady. He's given you the sexy feels. He lowers his face so that the two of us are... I thought she was going to be like, he lowers his face to my crotch and reiterates what I was just thinking. Okay. He lowers his face so that the two of us are seeing eye to eye. I forget to breathe. What? Oh, I forget to breathe as his hands go to my shoulders. Princess? Yes? I inhale sharply as I get a better look at Rumpel's face. Up until now, I have not stopped to look too closely at his features, but now I cannot stop my eyes from taking them in. Whenever you're sick again, I'll be there to help you, because I am a doctor, even if you might not believe it. All you'll ever really need is... a little vitamin me! Oh, my grossness. That was so ridiculous, and I love it. In one precious moment, every single bit of energy that had been between us vanishes. I stare blankly at Rumpel as he smiles at me. No? I like that he's just like, no bueno. I thought that one was actually good, too. I thought it was good, Rumpel. Rumpel pulls his hands away, defeated. I suddenly feel strangely upset. What was I expecting from him? What else could he have said? Suddenly, I am eager to look away from him. I look anywhere but at him, and eventually my eyes fall on a piece of paper. Oh, that's right, yeah, because it was... I mean, he did kind of undercut the emotion, you know? So I can see her being disappointed that he wasn't like, I'll always be there for you, baby. I'm gonna love you till the sun goes down and never comes up again. Or something. I recognize the name printed on the top, along with Rumpel's signature and the response lying next to it. Rumpel moves to stand in front of the desk once more. Ah, that's... You're still writing to Bria? I sent her a letter asking for my old journals. I'm convinced that's where the last of my memories are, but She refuses to give them to me. I will whip Bria's ass, Rumpel. You just tell me where she lives. You just show me where she lives. I will go there and be like, you better give me them journals, bitch. You better give them over, bitch. I glance at Bria's letter, my eyes scouring the words. I make a mental note of the address on the envelope. Uh-oh. This lady's taking it in her own hands. But don't worry, Princess. I'll figure it out. But for now, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. He reaches for me, but I duck out of the way of his hand. Why? I have to do this now while the address is still fresh in my head. I just remembered there was something I need to do. But Princess, I will see you tomorrow. I pause at the doorway to glance at Rumpel. See you tomorrow, Princess. Sweet dreams. Good night, Rumpel. If you had time to pause at the door to look at him, you had time to let him do whatever he was going to do. He was going to embrace you, lady. God. She's cock-blocking herself. Done. I sealed the envelope over the letter I'd been writing since I woke up. And now to have it delivered. After I have the letter sent off with the messenger, I return to my work for the day. It starts first with Mr. Broom, then with the serving. Yay, Mr. Broom! Do I get to see him? No, of course not. I missed him. I look for Rumpel, knowing that it is now his time off, and I'm surprised when I see him sitting not with other women, but with Karma. The two of them are laughing together? I guess that advice isn't too terrible. I give the best advice, darling. I'm a man of the heart. Perhaps not as much as I am, but I can give you credit when it's due. What are you two talking about? Princess! Well, hello there, Princess. Karma's mischievous smile confuses me. Even Rumpel looks surprisingly shaken. You did not answer my question. We are talking about matters related to the heart. Of course you are. I took it upon myself to impart valuable advice to Rumpel. You are giving Rumpel advice, even though you two are always at each other's throats? Ha! Even the bitterest enemies can become beloved friends. All it takes is a shared interest. I have no idea what you are talking about. But before I can say anything else, I'm swept up by Delora, who calls me back to work. The day goes on, and soon it is almost my break. I go to the front to see if the messenger has returned yet. Oh, Princess, there's a letter here for you. I did not expect a response. I opened it up and stared down at the letter for a long time. Writing love letters to a secret lover, Princess? Rumpel appears behind me, his smile unusually small. He looks almost hesitant to be standing there. It is not important. I stuff the letter into my pocket and continue working. For the rest of the day, I ignore Rumpel. I do not want him asking about this letter, just in case things do not go according to plan. He is obviously disheartened by my ignoring him, and his sadness only persists in making me feel guilty. Well, it should make you feel guilty. He loves you. He loves you, and he just wants to be near you, and all you're doing is pushing him away. Don't put up a border wall. Allow love to immigrate. This is not something he can know about. Otherwise, he will try to stop me. Drinking more water. Almost everyone has gone to their rooms, including a very saddened Rumpel. The only people remaining are Niece and myself. Earlier, Waltz came in insisting that he speak to Delora and Parfait, and so the three of them are all off talking in the other room. Curiosity gets the better of me, and I soon find myself sweeping closer to the door. I edge it open quietly with my foot so that I can see what is happening inside. I didn't think he was still alive. This is very troubling. He must have used a glamour. But the fact that I didn't realize it was him, Is that the princess I spot peeping through the door? Leave it to my Delora to see her. That's my girl. I try to hide, but all of the eyes in the room catch me before I can do so. Do you eavesdrop on people often, lady? I had no real reason to eavesdrop on them besides my own curiosity. It's no harm done, Delora. Lady, are you almost done with your chores? Ever since that conversation with Parfait and Delora, I have noticed that the words Parfait and I speak to each other are strained. Delora, however, is unchanged.
I expect sarcasm from her now, but she does not deliver. She simply stands still and looks at me somberly.
My voice is going all over the place.
I am. And what are you all talking about? Hiding more things from me?
We're talking about the rumors that have been going around about the palace.
What have you heard? I have a right to know what is happening at the palace. We would tell you if we knew for certain, Princess.
Walt sighs as he runs his hand through his hair. I know the timing doesn't seem right, but I really should show myself out. I have a show early morning tomorrow.
He glances around at all of us.
I'm going to excuse myself for the night. Good night, everyone. Later, Waltz. Why don't you waltz on out?
As he passes by me, he smiles.
And to you too, Princess.
Once again, everyone is being secretive. Why the sour face, Princess? Are you worried about what happens to the people in the palace you cared nothing for?
Delora. Okay, that was uncalled for. But really, though, there is something I've been meaning to tell you. Since you're here now, I may as well say it. I knew you for 1 year before I cursed you. I saw what your mother had done to you, and I knew I needed to undo the damage before your birthday.
Why is she talking about this now?
I called you cruel and wicked, when really I knew that the way you were was caused by the way your mother brought you up. And when we talked about Hilda the other day, I was unfair in what I said to you. We all have to face reality, but...
Delora pauses, looking surprisingly solemn. She sighs, then continues.
I always knew you had some good in you. I saw it in you when you spoke to your dolls. You have a good heart. Many people enjoy flattery, Princess. And a lot of people are receptive to flirting. But nothing can measure up to a genuine compliment.
Delora just complimented me?
Just thank her. All right? She was your beloved doll. She was your fave.
Out of all people, I did not expect Delora to compliment me, not when she makes a point of always telling me the blunt truth. Thank you.
There was no shock on Parfait or Delora's faces when they smile at me.
I'm beginning to think you and Delora are alike. You're both stubborn and have good in you, but you hide it behind sarcasm.
Hey, Lady and I are nothing alike.
I feel lighter somehow. I do not know if I have forgiven Delora just yet, but her cursing me has led me to see many things I would not have seen before. I owe her nothing, but I am still happy, even if the truth hurts.
Oh, what's this? My lovely little princess is in here with you two?
Ah, Rumpel, you're early tonight.
Surprised to see me, beautiful?
Rumpel's earlier anxiety is gone. He looks at me with unbridled enthusiasm.
I heard the princess thank you from a distance. The words are always most beautiful when leaving her mouth. So you were also eavesdropping. You two are very alike.
Not at all. Rumpel leans towards me and smiles.
My dream is to one day hear those words from you too, because you say them as gentle as the wind. If you're here to talk to Parfait about medicine, then I'm out. Lady, you should leave too. Well then, sleep well, beautiful maidens.
I quickly finish my chores and return to my room, where I lay on my bed contemplating tomorrow. I cannot believe Bria wrote back to me. Tomorrow I will meet with her, and hopefully she will agree to give me his journals. I hope this works. For Rumpel's sake.
All right, let me save in case it's about to do a thing. Save you do. Nice. Return. And there we have it. The end of the chapter. Okay, so, that one note, just pause it out. All right. So, that one was just about some character development, a little bit of filler, but it's important to see how she's getting along with everybody, how everything is progressing, and the developer still managed to introduce like a new conflict to keep the story moving. So now I'm curious to know not only what's going to happen when she meets with that bitch, Bria, or Bree bitch, or just Britch, when she goes to meet Britch, and, also what's going on at the palace, like with the king, and why he's honorably discharging people and what's happening there. So, stick with me. Hopefully we'll continue and get through this story a little bit faster than I've been going, because it really is a well-written fairy tale. I really do like it, and I can't wait to read more.